Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. When you think of Egyptian pyramids, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For most of us, it's the iconic Great Pyramids of Giza, right? Towering, mysterious, and a symbol of ancient power. But what if I told you the story of the pyramid doesn't start there? What if the very first pyramid, the one that changed everything, was built by a different pharaoh in a different place, and looked nothing like the ones at Giza? Today, we traveling back over 4,600 years to uncover the incredible story of King Djoser and the birth of the pyramid. Our story begins in the 3rd dynasty of ancient Egypt, a time of innovation and ambition. The pharaoh on the throne was a man named Djoser. Before his reign, pharaohs and nobles were buried in structures called mastabas. These were rectangular, flat-roofed tombs made primarily of mud brick. They were impressive for their time, but they were bound to the earth. Djoser, however, had a vision that reached for the heavens. He didn't just want a tomb. He wanted a monument that would secure his legacy for eternity, a structure that would be a literal stairway to the afterlife. To achieve such an audacious goal, Djoser needed a genius. And he found one in his chief minister and architect, a man named Imhotep. Imhotep wasn't just a builder. He was a physician, a priest, and a visionary. He is often considered the world's first true architect and engineer, known by name. When Djoser shared his dream of an eternal monument, Imhotep didn't just listen. He revolutionized architecture forever. His idea was simple in concept, but radical in execution. Instead of building a single flat mastaba, why not stack them? One on top of another, each one slightly smaller than the one below, creating a series of steps rising toward the sun god Ra. This was a groundbreaking concept, but Imhotep's innovation didn't stop there. He decided to abandon the traditional mud brick and build the entire structure out of a material that was much more permanent: stone. This was the first time in history that stone was used on such a massive scale for a major building project. The logistical challenge was immense. They had to quarry, transport, and shape thousands of tons of limestone with nothing but simple tools and human ingenuity. The result of this incredible effort was the Step Pyramid of Saqqara. Standing over 200 feet tall, it was the tallest building of its time. It wasn't just a tomb, it was a statement. The 6 steps of the pyramid were seen as a symbolic staircase, allowing the soul of the deceased pharaoh to ascend and join the immortal gods in the heavens. But the pyramid itself was only the centerpiece of a much larger complex. Imhotep designed an entire necropolis, a city for the dead, enclosed by a massive wall. Inside, there were temples for rituals, courtyards for ceremonies, and even dummy buildings that represented the palaces and structures of Djoser's kingdom, ensuring he would have everything he needed in the afterlife. This complex was designed to be a permanent, stone replica of his royal court on Earth. The project was so successful and so awe-inspiring that Imhotep himself became a legend. Centuries after his death, he was deified and worshipped as a god of wisdom, medicine, and architecture. The construction of the Step Pyramid was a turning point for Egypt. It demonstrated a level of social organization, resource management, and engineering skill that was unparalleled in the ancient world. It proved that Egypt could command vast amounts of labor, materials, and time to create something truly eternal. Djoser's vision and Imhotep's brilliance laid the foundation for every pyramid that followed. The architects who built the smooth-sided pyramids at Giza were simply refining the blueprint that Imhotep had created. They filled in the steps, perfected the angles, and built on a grander scale, but the core concept began with Djoser. So the next time you see an image of the Great Pyramids, remember the king who started it all. Remember Djoser, the pharaoh who dared to dream of a staircase to the stars, and his architect Imhotep, who made it a reality. Eternity truly began with a single step. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey back in time as fascinating as I did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let me know in the comments what ancient wonder you'd like to explore next. See you in the next video.